Thanks everybody for coming in today, and right off the bat I want to tell you all responsibility for what happens in the program falls on my shoulders 100%, and I am responsible ultimately for the results that we get, and there's no doubt that the way things look today are not how we want it to look, and that ultimately falls on my shoulders. And want to make sure everybody understands that we need to make improvements. There's no question about it. I have a lot of confidence in what strengths we've used to build the program to this point, because this is a good program. A lot of good people have worked hard to build the program to one that we are all proud of, and everything that has happened over the last couple of years is definitely my responsibility, and I am happy to talk to you about it. I appreciate the people in this room who have covered our program, and you've been very fair to me, and I will sit as long as you want to sit and answer whatever questions you have as long as you want to ask them, because I want to make sure and make clear how I see things and what our path forward. Jenna and I have devoted our lives to this place, and this is our university, and this is our city, and this is where our community, where we want to raise our family, and there is nothing more important than that to us, and we want this to be a great place. We believe it is a great place and will continue to be a great place. And every bit of strength that I've had to get the program to the point that it is now from a success standpoint on the court, that's come from God, and I'm very plain about that and very serious about that, and I thank Him for the strength that He's given me, and that's the strength that will get us through this tough patch. I have every bit of faith in that, and no doubt whatsoever that we will learn from where we've made mistakes and where ultimately I have made mistakes, and I'll be glad to try to explain everything that I can. It's probably not going to be in 10 minutes, so I'm here to answer whatever questions, however long you want to, and I thank you for being here.
Matt, what kind of feedback have you gotten from players and their parents that have gotten to the situation going back to last October?
Well, right now, we really played the season with 10 players. We played a large majority of the season with 10 scholarship players. 9 of those were eligible, with 1 transfer sitting and couldn't play. And so with one graduating in Janae Thompson and Ivana Yakubsova transferring, graduating, and she's a graduate transfer, and Batuli transferring, the 7 players that we have remaining in the room, it is a tough time for them. There's a lot of uncertainty with what's going on. There's been staff upheaval and staff changes, and that is hard on the players, very hard. So it's a tough time for them. You can see it in their faces when we've spent a lot of time talking to them. There is apprehension about how we move forward, and so what I must do is be very strong now and firm, and let them know that there's a path forward, and that's starting to come into focus. But there's no question it's hard. What I have appreciated is their resilience, their toughness up to this point, and I don't take that for granted, and I'm trying to be there for them every single day. But what I've particularly appreciated is the support of the parents. I've spoken with every parent or close connection to those 7 players, And that response has given me tremendous confidence and strength. And I've had unwavering support, overwhelming support from that group of people, and candid engagement from them, and that is appreciative. So we are appreciative of that, and there's a lot of people in that room and their parents who really believe in what's going on and believe in what this program stands for and what it has stood for and who I am as a person. And I certainly appreciate that. And so we have a lot of work to do, though. There's no question about it. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that I do a better job communicating with people and making certain that people understand where they fit and what their roles are, and I can improve in that, no doubt about it. But I've been very appreciative of the response from the 7 kids in the room right now and their parents.
You've said that a few times today about doing a better job communicating. Do you mean with recruits at the beginning of the process in terms of this is how it's going to be so that they understand kind of what they're getting in their coach and the coaching staff and the program?
Well, that is for me, that has been a very involved process over the years of trying to understand, what we're looking for at Kentucky is ultimate success of this is a place where a young woman can come and develop as a total person. And she can develop, personally, she can develop academically, athletically, and so that's the goal, and when we do that, we believe we're going to go to Final Fours and win championships. I don't stay still or stand still or don't progress, and so if you look back to the beginning of the program, we had some success in the 3rd year that really changed the dynamic and the trajectory of the program. And I have been very public about this. Over the course of that 7-year period, now we're just out of a 7-year period where we've gone 7 straight NCAAs, and we've had success that we've never had here before. That's a dynamic situation. And I've learned a lot as far as what we really want to do in recruiting, who we want to recruit. And so that's taken time. So I am saying that is a process that has happened, and you may learn things while kids are here or while you're recruiting them, and you understand, you really get a clear picture of who you need to recruit and who you need to have in the room, and that's something that I feel like we're closer at, the kind of person who will really be successful here. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean you're going to bat 1,000, but we definitely need to bat better than what we're batting now. The optics of it just tell you must do better. And so that is a quest that I'm on. I feel really confident, no matter how it looks now. I feel really confident in the people that we need to recruit and how we need to go about that. So it is a function of engaging those athletes on a level that maybe starts a bit earlier to really get to know them as people. I feel like we've made some progress in that. We need to engage their families, their parents, and we need to make sure that it's a situation where we communicate what we want for their daughter. And so right now, with all of this upheaval, it's very difficult for a parent to wrap their mind around what's going on here right now, and I appreciate that. And the only thing that I can do is make certain that I'm learning the lessons that I need to learn, and there needs to be some stability, and they need to know that the success has happened for a reason, and it's for who I think we've tried to be here, and try to build on that, get a really good staff together, and they need to see some stability. The kids in our team room right now need to see some stability, and that's the only person that can do that is me. I have to get that done. I feel like we have a plan forward. We've started that process with Kyra, and with Kyra returning to Kentucky. I'm so excited about that, and I think those signals will start to be sent. But it's not going to happen overnight, and everything that's happened here hasn't happened overnight, so it will take us some time, but I have no doubt we will get there.
You said midway through the season that you were really pleased with the staff, the way they were coaching, the way things were going, and then that staff is now all gone.
Mhm.
So what happened between January and April
Yeah.
as far as the staff is concerned?
Yeah. So, one thing that I tried to learn from past experiences, when we were playing our up-tempo style defensively, we sort of did the same thing every day, and we had the same staff in place for a number of years, and it was sort of like Groundhog Day. It was a defensive fundamental package. It was some pressing and full court playing, and so we really got into a rhythm where the practices, there wasn't a lot of time that we had to spend together planning practices. We also had a staff with Kyra, Matt, Shalon, where we were all at different stages of life. I didn't have any kids. They didn't have any kids. We spent a bunch of time together as friends and colleagues, and there was a chemistry there on and off the court. And so that was, a great time and a fun time. The rules changed. We had to start playing defense a little bit different. Kyra left for Tennessee for good reasons and reasons I respect now. Matt left the next year for Ole Miss, and we had a different dynamic on the staff. One of the feedback that I got from that staff is that we didn't spend enough time planning the practices and being together there. And so I tried to learn from that. Presley was born that year, and I was not around as much as I normally would be with a newborn baby. And so that was all on me. I just, you think something's rolling along well, and you think it's just going to keep rolling along well, and that's a mistake that you make. That's a mistake that you make. So from that, I tried to learn that we needed to get in that staff room and plan practice and really talk about what we were doing. So I tried to learn from that. This year in particular, once the departures early in the year, we had a small roster, and we really had to get in there, the four of us, and then a graduate assistant and a film guy. We got in there, and we spent probably 250 hours or more of just together. That's that group of 6 people working hard to make sure that we had a good team and we were doing the right things in practice. And so there was a lot of collaboration on that level, and I think you saw those results. And so practice every day I thought was good, and so I thought those coaches did a really good job in practice every day, and I thought we had a really good atmosphere in practice every day. For whatever reasons that I will need to fully examine and go back, we did not have the kind of chemistry that we needed that resulted in us moving forward. So I parted ways with one coach, and then the other 2 coaches had decisions to make on whether they wanted to return or not. And I was very much in favor of them returning. I wanted them to return. I tried to explain to them how it would all work together and fit together. Kyra was going to come back, and that was a staff I would have loved to have gone forward with, and they had to decide what they wanted to do with their life, and they decided not to come back to Kentucky. Now, that is an incredible turnover, and that is tremendous upheaval. And, somewhere along the way, I did not communicate well enough for them to, want to stay. And so that's 100% on me and my responsibility, and I need to learn the lessons from that situation and move forward in a real productive manner. And I feel like I've got a clear picture on who that needs to be and how we're going to get that done. And, I think the most important thing for me right now is to remain confident that this is a place that people do want to be. The kids that are in that room had a lot of fun playing basketball, and we had a good year on the court. We learned a lot of lessons. We had a lot of good things happen. They've got to have a stable situation from a staff perspective, and that is my job, to make sure that we have a staff that can stick together. And, you can have a coach wanting to head out and be a head coach and wanting to, and that's a seat that I was sitting in as an assistant coach. I wanted to be a head coach, and that is a good thing for me as a coach to try to help people develop into. And but I think it's really important for me now to try to get some stability in a spot for a number of years, where it looks like when we had, a 3 or 4 year run there where we might lose one person, but the core was intact. And that's really what I'm trying to make sure that I do a really diligent job of getting that done. And, I'm really appreciative that those 3 coaches worked hard, spent a lot of time. I appreciate that. But that's the best way I can explain that.
Matthew, how do you avoid this spiraling more in terms of recruits wondering what's going on
Yeah.
and looking elsewhere and other coaches using against you?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I mean, we're in a competitive environment, and there's no question that if you start looking outside the building right now, there's a lot that you can latch on to in terms of negativity, and the program is not where the program does not look like we want it to look. That's 100% on me. I am in charge of everything that goes on in this program. So the program does not look how it needs to look. The way you turn that around is setting forth a plan and a path forward. And I'm so appreciative to Mitch Barnhart, who has just been so helpful with his feedback in this. He's been very candid with me about, you need to do a better job in getting people in a stable situation, and we cannot have this type of situation happening again. It's been a 3-year revolving door of staff, and that just creates tremendous upheaval. And, some of that has been my decision to part ways. Some of that has been coaches' decisions to leave for other opportunities or a better situation that they think. But how you combat that, you don't worry about that right now. That's going to take care of itself only when I can show a path forward of stability, and that's what I have to do. I believe we're on that track. I believe that's going to come into focus over the next several days. Listen, this has all been happening with a lot of moving parts over the last 3 weeks, and I have been trying to do my very best to handle every situation as it's come about. They all tie together, but when you're in my position, you care about people and you're trying to help people, you got to handle those situations, and you can't really worry about the big picture at times. You got to make sure you're trying to take care of people and be responsive to their needs. I have given some thought, and I am in a really confident place right now that we are going to get this. What we do with our staff, I believe, is going to signal stability. And there's going to be a rationale behind it, and we're going to be able to show you why this is going to be stable. But right now, we have to just make sure that we block out all the noise, all the negativity. There certainly are an overwhelming majority of people. Our fans want us to be successful. My closest friends and support, I've gotten unbelievable support from people in this town who have been so kind and talking to me about their support. Those outnumber the ones that would want to see us ultimately fail. And I think that's a small group, but sometimes that group can be really loud, and information's so easy to get now, and misinformation and inaccurate information can kind of take a life of its own, and it can affect your players because they're in tune with that. So we just have to do a great job right now of responding, showing a way forward. I have to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm very excited to share that with you over the coming days.
Matthew, when you say Mitch says we can't have this situation again, do you get a sense that there's urgency to show that this is getting fixed now? I mean, from him?
I sense that there's urgency from Mitch that we want our kids and our players to be in a stable situation, and I think he has that wish for our program and every other program. And I've never been around an athletic director that cares more about these young people as individuals. And I've said this many times, he knows every athlete in this department, knows her story or his story. He has a tremendous heart for people, and he wants our team to have a stable situation. And so there's a tremendous urgency because it's the kids that really, all the other stuff that's going on and all the other external factors that are real loud right now, and the way that it looks, and I understand the way that it looks, and it needs to improve. But the main thing right now that Mitch is concerned about and that I'm concerned about are our players, and how can we show them that this is the place they want to be. And you know, there are players in there that are telling me, Coach, you just don't have to worry about me. I am all in. I'm 100% behind you. I'm having the time of my life. I know you're going to show us a way forward. There are other players that might be more uneasy. We've got to signal stability to them, and I think that there's a tremendous urgency for that Mitch has, and that I have, that I share with Mitch. But I just appreciate the confidence that he has placed in me, and he's always been very supportive because we are connected with common values, and we have the same beliefs, and we value the same things, and so we have a very, very special connection in that way. And he has been very supportive, but very constructively critical too, and that's what I need as well during this time when I need to make improvements.
Do you think you have been difficult to work with? Is this a hard place for an assistant coach to succeed?
I don't think so. It has all come to a head now. I mean, with the turnover, it goes back 3 years, and one move kind of impacts the next, and so that's long and drawn out to kind of go step by step. But I've had tremendous relationships with coaches who have come through here, and so as far as me being hard to work with, I will definitely take a look at that, and I will definitely examine myself and have examined myself. And trust me, there's been many nights that I've been laying there awake thinking about all the success that we've had on the court, and all the success we've had in the classroom, and all the success we've had in the community and the fans that come through that door. And there are times you're thinking, what have you done wrong here? And I want to make sure that I get that right. because I want this to be a place where everybody feels like they're benefiting and moving forward, and that that Kentucky's a place they want to invest in, and they want to be here, and they want to help Kentucky succeed. That's what I want, but I definitely want them to feel that for me too, that I want to help them succeed and help everybody reach whatever their dreams and goals are, because we all have them.
In terms of players, what are you hearing from them about whether you're hard to deal with or not?
Well, the people who are here, I'm getting positive feedback from. I'm getting constructive criticism from. I've been so appreciative that the players that are remaining have been candid with me and have shared with me how I can improve. The players who have departed, so many of them have given me feedback on how I can improve. So, we've had so many players come through here and who have graduated and who are out being successful now, and we've had a great amount of success. And so I feel like a lot of people have walked out the door feeling like I haven't been hard to deal with. I'm sure there's some that have felt like I've been hard to deal with. So, when you're leading an organization that has so many different people in it, it is up to you to make sure that you do your dead level best to be the best communicator that you have. And communication is changing all the time. And so if I feel like, because I have had great success here on the court, we've graduated players, they're being productive, we've won a lot of games, if I think that is going to help me be a great communicator, and they're just going to walk in the door and they're thinking, hey, I'm going to come communicate with you. That's not how it works. You've got to go meet them where they are, and I understand that, and I need to do my very best job of working hard so I can be the very best communicator and give these players what they need and an environment where they can grow as people, as students, and as players.
Matthew, has the way you've coached in the last couple of years changed? Because you talked so much at the end of 2014-15 about when the seniors came to your house, said the culture of the program had slipped, and implored you to be tough.
Yep.
Did you go too far the other way?
No. I don't. I think that meeting with those seniors was nothing but positive for me, from my standpoint. And I worked really hard to create a good environment in practice, and I think those results showed on the court. I think where I have made the misstep is if people are feeling like I didn't care about them and I wasn't here to serve them, and I didn't serve them well, enough off the court. And that's what I have to take a strong look at and see where I can improve. There's clearly players that I served well who are telling me last night, and through all of this really tumultuous time, which is so hard on these kids. It is really, really hard on them. And I'm so motivated to get us through this part of the storm, who have said, I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate how you've coached me, and I do feel connected to you, and I do feel like I can walk in this door and talk to you. It's the players that don't feel that way that I've got to reach out. I've got to figure out why they don't feel that way, and I have to make the adjustment and change and be available to everyone, and everyone needs to know that I'm here for their benefit. And so it's certainly I don't feel like, and look, I don't feel like I've been too tough, and I will tell you this. Every practice at Kentucky is open. Every practice is open to the public. You just have to call the office, 859-257-6046, and they will answer the phone and say, I'd like to come to practice, and they'll say it's 2:30 today in the practice gym, and then if the observation deck ever fills up, we'll move it down to Memorial. It never has, but I'm just telling you, anybody Whoever wants to come to our practice is allowed to come. We are an open book from that standpoint, so there are, no hidden tapes or no secret practices that I am having, and you can come and watch us practice anytime that you want to, because our parents, when they come in on Big Blue Madness, come to practice, and I want them to see what kind of environment their daughter's in, and I take every parent's phone call. I don't duck anything, and so I am willing to work as hard as I can to improve through this situation, but I know that we have had some really great things happening over a 9-year period, and this is a very difficult time for us. But I am might sound, this might be hard to believe, but I am more optimistic sitting with you today. I feel better about where we're headed than I have.